Rock and metal invasion. Rock and metal invasion. Rock and metal invasion. Rock and metal invasion.
Hi, welcome to Rock and Metal Invasion. My name is Steve. Coming up on the show today, I am doing Name That Hair Metal Song. No, I'm not asking you to name or guess the name of a hair metal song. I'm going to list 30 hair metal songs that have a name in the song title. And when I say a name, I mean just a name. So it doesn't count if it's got any other words in it that aren't just the name. So, for example, Jagged Edge, they have a song called Sweet Lorraine. It would not count because it has the word sweet in it. Okay, so it's got just the name. It could have the first name and the last name. That's fine. There's a couple like that, not a lot, but most of them it's just one name. Male and female names, it doesn't matter. I think the majority are female names, but yeah, and when I say hair metal too, you know what I'm saying there. It's not necessarily completely officially hair metal, although I think a lot of these would definitely be put, you could easily put them in the hair metal category. And yeah, so 30, some of them actually are great songs that I really, really like, but I haven't ranked them in any particular order. And in fact, I've even created a playlist. So if you go and look in the description, you can go onto YouTube and you can play these songs that I'm going to be talking about. It's going to be 30 of them, and they're all on the YouTube playlist. All right, so there's 30 songs to go through. I've got all these songs in my collection, so I'll show the album that the song comes from. First up, like I said, in no particular order, but this is a particularly good album, good song as well, from the debut Blue Murder album, and the song Billy, track 3 on side 2. Really good song, good rocker, and yeah, fantastic stuff. Of course, Blue Murder, well, I shouldn't say Blue Murder, John Sykes recently just released, well, obviously, the record company that have these songs or have our song have just recently released a new John Sykes song. It sounds pretty good to me. All right, next up, Queensryche, and from the album Empire, and Della Browns. This is one of the ones that actually does have first and last name. Quite a long song, but really good. I love this album from start to finish. Really great follow-up to Operation Mindcrime, which is also an amazing album. And they sort of dropped the whole concept album for this one, but still very, very good stuff. And you know, again, possibly this isn't really hair metal, but hair metal fans or people who liked hair metal would definitely like this album. A good chance they would anyway. And this is a classic. So Queensryche Empire and the song Della Brown. All right, next up, a little bit more obscure, this one. This one is Dalton. And from the album The Race Is On, my favorite song off the album that kicks off the album, and it's Caroline. Really good hard rocking song that kicks off the album. And like I said, it's actually my favorite song from this album. All right, next one, a slightly more well-known hair metal band from their second album, Boys in Heat. There's a song on here called Stevie, and that is track 2, yeah, on side 2. Actually, for me, I think side 2 is where some of the better songs are because Plenty of Love that kicks off side 2 is also very good. But yeah, Stevie, good song. Shine On. Yeah, I'd probably looking at it now when I look at the songs. There's some good songs on side 1 as well, but side 2 has a lot of good ones. And Stevie's also one of my favorites from this album. Of course, their final album with Dizzy Dean. All right, next up, from Sabu, Paul Sabu and his album Heartbreak. This song kicks off the album, and it's Angeline. Really good song. I'm a big fan of Paul Sabu and the hard rock that he put out in the 80s, especially. Really good stuff. This is a lot of these guys also are in his band Only Child, or at least a couple, I think. But anyway, oh, definitely this guy, Charles Esposito. He's definitely in it. And I think Only Child album comes out after this one, but this is just sort of, I guess, more of a solo album, comes out under the name Sabu. And yeah, the opening track on side 1, Angeline, and it's a really good song. Next one is well-known artist who is more well known, I guess, for the band that he was the guitarist for, but then he also has gone off and done solo albums as well, and he can sing. And this is his track from his debut solo album. It's Richie Sambora from Stranger in This Town, and the track that I went for that has a name in it is Rosie. And again, it would probably be one of the best, it probably is the best song, at least for me, on this album. I really love that song. It was actually demoed for the New Jersey album, but wasn't used. Pretty sure, yeah, for New Jersey. In fact, if you pick up the deluxe edition of that New Jersey album, you can hear a demo version of that song. Written by John Bon Jovi, Richie Sambora, and Desmond Child. Really good song. I would have liked to have a few more songs like this on this album, but anyway, yeah, at least it got onto Richie's album. A really good song, Rosie. All right, next one, a little bit more obscure. There's a band called Highway Child, and from the album Rockorama. Now, I think these guys are from Denmark, Danish band, and the song is Christine. Really good song, probably the best song from this album. I'm not super familiar with them. I don't have everything they put out, but I know that some people really think they're great, and they have put out a few albums, definitely. This is the only album I've got. I think I've got an EP as well. They have put out some EPs, I think, also more mini albums. But and I'm not super familiar with this album. It's kind of newish. When I say new, it's like I've had it for a few years now, but I haven't given it a lot of play. But I do know Christine quite well and really like that song. So Christine from Highway Child. Next one, a band that is probably one of my favorite hair metal bands of all time, one of my favorite hair metal albums of all time. It's Lillian X, and from the album Love and War, the song Diana. So Diana, but actually all the songs on here are great, really good. Just something about this band and this album just made them stand out and sound just a little bit different to all the other bands that pretty much look like these guys. They've got the hair metal look. They definitely, I think, had a different sound, sort of almost a little bit progressive at times. Um, the lyrics are a little bit more interesting than what you might initially think. And although I have to say, probably my favorite song initially was My Number, the cover of the Girl song. I don't know if that's necessarily my favorite now. I just like, it's such a consistently good album. All the songs I think are really, really good. And Diana would be one of them. So yeah, that makes the list. All right, next one. I think it's another Danish band, Fate. And this album is called Scratch and Sniff. They actually get a bit heavier. When they started out, they were sort of more hard rock AOR, which is kind of surprising because they sort of were formed from the Ashes. A couple of guys at least, or one of the guys from Merciful Fate formed the band. That's why it's got the name Fate. But they're not that sort of sound at all. They're more that sort of hard rock AOR. Hair metal, definitely getting quite hair metal on this album, but still good crunchy guitars. And the song I chose for this list of hair metal songs that have a name in the title is Larry. And I actually talked about this song quite recently on when I was talking about this album for some reason on one of my previous episodes. And I even said, oh, they've even got a song called Larry, which is an unusual song title, but it's a really good song as well. It opens up side two. So yeah, it's on the playlist. Go check it out because if you haven't heard that song, it's really good. And like I said, really good, good heavy guitars on this album. Um, this is probably my favorite Fate album. Yeah, from 1990, Scratch and Sniff. All right, next one, well-known band. This is Winger. And yeah, so I talked about these guys on my previous episode that I did on lesser known female fronted bands, where I talked about the band Sahara, female fronted band. Winger were initially going to call themselves Sahara, but the band name was taken. I'm assuming it was from that band, and you can even see Sahara written down here. So yeah, so they just decided to go with Winger, which is of course the last name of Kip Winger, who is the vocalist and bass player in the band. And yeah, the song I went with is, I think it was the first single, Madeleine. Really good song, one of my favorite songs from this album. It's got lots of good songs, but it's definitely one of my favorites. And I have a feeling that it was released as a single and it did well enough that they said, okay, we'll give these guys another. single, another music video, and 17 was probably I think that was probably the one that really made them, really took them up to the next level sort of thing. But yeah, Time to Surrender, that's a good song on here. I love that one. But yeah, like I say, like Hungry, very good. Lots of good songs. But yeah, Madeleine's the one I chose for my list today. All right, next one, Baton Rouge. This is their debut album, and Shake Your Soul. This band worked a lot with Jack Ponti, so some songwriting done with him, and he's also the producer. Kelly Keeling, probably quite well known to some people as well. He's the main sort of songwriter along with Jack Ponti. He does lead vocals and guitar. Really good album, this one. Now, the song I have selected is Melanie. Melanie, yeah, that's how you say it. And really good song, actually. It's one of my favorites from this album. But yeah, lots of good ones, very catchy. And yeah, Melanie from Baton Rouge, Shake Your Soul. Next one. Now, this one I had to just sort of check the lyrics just a little bit just to make sure it was a name because it's not a common name. But looking at the lyrics, it definitely seems to be about a person, and that person is called Icy. And the band is Vane. So yeah, their debut album. I think this came out in 1990, around that time on Ireland. And yeah, the band Vane, named after the lead singer Davy Vane. And it's track 4 on side 2, Icy. And yeah, it's actually one of the better songs on the album. I really like that song. And sort of that this is that sleazy sort of hair metal sound that was becoming popular after the success of Guns N' Roses. And Vane went on to put out quite a few more albums after this, still going, in fact. Mainly just the main guy is of course Davey Vane, but yeah, still going, putting out albums and pretty consistent too. They don't really sort of stray much from their original sound. But yeah, really good song. I see. All right, next one. I love this album, and this band is probably this would be my favorite album from this band. Probably this is not my favorite song, but it is a song that has a name in the song title, and one of the few that has a male name in the song title. So it's TNT, Knights of the New Thunder, and the song is Eddie. So it's sort of more of a ballad type song, but there's some really good heavy ones on this one. You've got Seven Seas, which kicks off the album. It's very good. USA, excellent, great riff, some great riffage on this album. And even some of the ballads like Without Your Love, I think are actually very good. Eddie I wasn't really into that much, but I wanted to mention it because I do like this album so much, and it fits the format of having a name in the song title. All right, next one is, and again, like I said, some of these may not be what you would call hair metal, but I think it's close enough. And this is a guy you might not think would maybe, if you didn't know, uh, even fit into the hard rock world. But yes, he did, because in 1983, Michael Bolton put out his self-titled album, and it is good AOR hard rock. I love this album. The follow-up, Everybody's Crazy, I probably like even more. But yeah, really good stuff. Kerry is the song, and that's not the only song on my list called Kerry, but yeah, this is the first time we're mentioning Kerry. Michael Bolton, lead vocalist, he does a lot of the songwriting, good songwriter, and you've even got Bob Kulick on guitar as well. So I think they'd worked together previously, maybe in Blackjack, but maybe that was Bruce that was in Blackjack actually. But anyway, yeah, it's just filled with lots of good songs, as is the follow-up as well. So, Kerry by Michael Bolton, and then Kerry again by, yes, you guessed it, Europe from the Final Countdown. It was one of the singles from the album. Just a, um, ballad, really. Not one of my favorite songs from this album, but it's okay. And it was a bit of a hit for them at the time, of course, following on from the massive hit that the Final Countdown was for them. This was a pretty big album, of course. So yeah, Europe and Kerry. So two songs with the same um, song title, and I've got some more of that coming up now because this one is Jody, yes, Jody Bon Jovi, and she's got a song on her, I think it's One and Done, self-titled album called Mary Ann. And I've got another song by another band called Mary Ann coming up very soon. But yeah, this is okay. I mean, she got a bit of flack for sort of seeming like she's trying to play off the success that John Bon Jovi was getting. Well, can't blame her. I don't know who John was. Maybe John was like her cousin or something like that. I'm not too sure. But it's actually pretty good. It's sort of like I think I've heard other people describe it like Tiffany, fronting Bon Jovi. She's got a bit of a voice like Tiffany, but yeah, hard rock, AOR, that sort of sound that Bon Jovi was doing around the Slippery When Wet time. And I don't know, there's some good songs on here. There's definitely some good ones on it. They kick it off with Somebody Love, which is a cover song. I don't know if that was a good choice, but the song Marianne itself, yeah, it's actually all right. I don't mind it. Quite like it. Next one, Marianne again, but this time by the band Riot. So from the album The Privilege of Power, and they have a song called Marianne. So it's on side two, track two, and yeah, some traditional fans of the band might have thought Riot were getting a little bit too hair metal on this album, and maybe even the previous one as well. But I think the two albums, I think they did just two for, I think it's Epic or CBS, yeah, CBS. The two major label albums they did with them, I think are really good. It's good songs. And Marianne is one of the better ones that they did. I really like it. Yeah, it is kind of commercial, quite a commercial song for them, but yeah, I like it. It's my kind of thing. So yeah, Marianne by Riot from the album The Privilege of Power. Next up, I talked about this guy quite recently when I was talking about Cassidy Paris and her two albums, reviewing her two albums. This is Paul Lane because he was a songwriter for Cassidy, and this is from his debut album, Stick It In Your Ear. Had Bruce Fairbairn come on and produce. So he had some big names helping him out. This is 1990, I think, and came out on Elektra. And the song is Doriana. Doriana, yeah, good song actually. I think there might be even a music video for it as well. We Are the Young is my go-to song from this album. Love that song. But yeah, Doriana is the song I selected for this episode because it fits a name in the song title. But yeah, there we go. Next one is German band Rocco. So I think this is their debut album, and they've got a song on here called Jane, but it's not one of their songs. It's a cover of the Jefferson Starship song Jane. But really good. Of course, that's a great song, and they sort of do their version of it, which is I think great. And yeah, so Jane, but that's not the only Rocco appearance because then on their next album, so this is their debut from 1990. And then their next album, Open Invitation, they've got a song on here. It's the it's the fifth song on side one. They've got a song called Judy. So Jane and Judy. And yeah, this is actually Judy's a good song as well. So that's one of their own songs. And yeah, really good. So from Open Invitation. They put out, I think, a couple more albums after this, but of course, this comes out in '92, so it's kind of yeah coming to the end. This type of sound, but yeah, both these albums are worth getting if you like that sort of. They're, like I said, they're from Germany, German hair metal, sort of if you like that Bonfire type sound. The band Bonfire, you'd like Rocco. All right, next one, quite a well-known band, and the band I'm talking about is Kiss, and from the album Unmasked. They've got a song on here called Shandy, which was a big hit for them here in New Zealand, at least. It was really popular because they were touring about this time when this album came out. So they hadn't toured, I don't think, New Zealand before. So it was a bit of a big deal. I mean, I was around, but I wasn't really into this type of music. I was only about 8 or 9 when this came out. Wasn't really into it, although I do remember seeing the album cover and liking comics, thinking, "Wow, this is a cool album cover," and I'm really enjoying reading the comic and on the front of the cover. But yeah, I think Shandy's actually a great song. It is about a person. It can also be a drink, I think. A shandy can be like a lemonade and beer mixed together. But yeah, it's about a person, so it makes the list Shandy. And that's not the only song that Kiss have, which is has a name in it. And of course, it's Beth from Destroyer. Peter Criss does the vocals, and yeah, that's actually a really good song. I've always really liked that song, even though it's not heavy at all, not even a power ballad. It's very much just a very pop ballad, really, but it's good. I like the lyrics. I mean, he actually wrote that with the band that he was in previous to Kiss. But that has been changed a bit. Bob Ezrin, I think, comes in and changes a few things. But yeah, sounds really good. And so That one had to make the list. Next one, Stage Dolls. They've got a song on here called Lorraine. Yeah, Lorraine. Very good song, actually. I really like that one. Stage Dolls. I think they're from Norway, actually. Pretty sure it's Norway. Yeah, and Still in Love, that was very good as well. Love Cries, I think it's a music video for that. Really love these guys, especially this album. They've got a few other albums that I don't think are as good as this one. This was their most successful album, I think, as well. And yeah, so Lorraine is the one I chose. It's a good song. Third track on side one. Next one is unusual name for a band. It's a band called Skagerrak. Uh, Danish band, hungry for a game. Hungry for a game. I don't know this band really well, though I've got like at least three of their albums, I think. I just haven't put a lot of time into listening to them, but they do sound like the kind of thing I would like, and I do like the song that I've selected here, Joanna. Track two on side one. It's actually a really good song. I do like it. So yeah, Joanna by Skagerrak. All right, next one. German band Kraft, spelled with two A's, from Second Honeymoon. And they've also got a song called Jane. It's the fourth song on side one, but it's an original song, so one that it's not a cover. And there's a music video for it as well. It's kind of like a power ballad type song. Not great. There's some better songs I think on this album, like check out Twisted Up All Inside. That's very good. I really like that one. And this is their second album, I think, and they got a lot heavier. Previous album was more AOR, melodic rock. Not This is more your sort of hair metal, sort of like I think they were going for this sort of sound. They're kind of trying to be like Scorpions, a late 80s, mid 80s Scorpions kind of sound. So yeah, that's pretty good. There's another album after this as well, which is also worth checking out. But yeah, Second Honeymoon, and the song is Jane. All right, next one. I think these guys are from the UK, and the band is Heartland, their debut album. And I think they were sort of going for the Def Leppard kind of success there, the sound. Yeah, some pretty sort of slick production on here. Jimbo Barton is the producer. You've got yeah, Kerry Ann on here. That's the song I chose. So Kerry Ann, good song. I think there might be a music video for that one. I'm pretty sure that was a single. It is a good song. It's not super heavy, but if you like that AOR melodic rock, hard rock, that was sort of still fairly popular. Even though hair metal was more the sound, that sort of heavier type sound. But you still had bands coming out with a more commercial sort of AOR hard rock sound as well. It's came out on A&M, especially I think in the UK. UK were putting out a lot of bands that sort of sounded a bit like this, or had a real bluesy kind of sound as well. There's a bit of bluesiness on this album. But yeah, so Heartland, and the song is Kerry Ann. Next one is a band called Fortune, and they have a song on here called Stacy. Not one of their better songs from here. It's okay. I really like this album. It's a good, solid album. Through of It All is my go-to song. But yeah, I think this came out around 85, and then it took them like, you know, 35 years or something like that, and then they did actually release a follow-up. But yeah, I think some of the guys went off and formed, I think it's Harlan Cage, which is also very good. And but yeah, this is pretty much one and done. But then, like I say, second album does come out 35 years later, something like that. I think the vocalist has passed away a few years ago, so. But yeah, Stacy is the song I selected by the band Fortune. Next one, I had to select this one because I do like Lita Ford. So Lita Ford from Silhouette, and the song is Lisa. It's actually a good song. I like this. I like the song. This album, not one of my favorites. It's okay. It's got some good songs. I thought her two previous albums were better. Lita and Dancing on the Edge. I thought that they were better albums, but this is okay. And yeah, Lita's actually sorry, Lisa is the song title. It's actually a pretty good song. So yeah, Lita Ford and the song Lisa. Next one is we're nearly at the end. Alice Cooper. So from the album Raise Your Fist and Yell. This is probably one of his heaviest albums. He definitely got a lot heavier. I think this is the second one he did with Beau Hill on MCA, and then of course he leaves MCA and then goes to Epic and has releases Trash, and that's a big hit for him. But this has actually got some good songs. So the song I chose is Gale. It almost sounds like it's a soundtrack to a horror movie or something. Maybe that was the idea, but even a bit of a concept record happening here. But Gale's good. I mean, it's an unusual song. It's got keyboards by Kip Winger, so it's not got lots of guitar on it. But it's really more of a. I always sort of feel like it's more of an intro for Kisses on White Lace, which is just a kick-ass song, great song that ends the album. But there's actually other really good songs on here, like Prince of Darkness is excellent, Freedom. Yeah, I really like this album. One of my favorite Alice Cooper albums. And last one, remember I did say not all bands on here are necessarily hair metal. Yes, I chose Rush and Tom Sawyer from Moving Pictures because I think that's such a great song. And I'm still kind of getting into Rush. Yeah, some songs by Rush just don't really do it for me, but when they do it for me, they really do it for me. Like Tom Sawyer, I just think is fantastic, and there's other really good songs on here as well. So, yeah, I wanted to include that one. So that's actually the last one on the playlist: Rush from Moving Pictures and Tom Sawyer. And then just to finish, it's not really an honorable mention, but I was going to have it on the list, but then. Uh, they don't have their songs. At least the song I wanted is not on YouTube. I couldn't find it, so couldn't make the playlist. But I mentioned Jet Red, and they definitely I think would fit in the hair metal category. Here they are at the back, and they've got a song called Lolita, which for me is not one of the better songs on the album. But there we go. Thought I'd mention that one. And there we go. So that's it. Hair metal songs with names in the song title. If you like this type of content, make sure you hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and let me know because I'm sure there's possibly some good hair metal songs that have names in the song title that I forgot, missed, or don't know about. So, yeah, let me know. All right, thanks for watching. We'll catch you later.